Good morning everyone, we are back with more silly ban reasons like our last video about it. This time, even sillier than before. But before we proceed, I want to ask you guys to kindly subscribe, as if we reached 200k before March 14, we would have grown 100k subs in a year, which is epic. So, subscribe to be under 200k gang and flex it on everyone later on. It's free and a really worthy investment. Anyways, let's start off with our first story, which comes from a person that a lot of you might know, as he has made a name for himself when it comes to doing some trolling. He's also been mentioned in a handful of our videos before and other YouTubers' videos. His name is RiceBlades11. Rice wasn't always a person that likes to cheat. He has accounts where he still plays the game completely legit because he still enjoys Skyblock. But a while ago, something really funny happened to him. RiceBlades was setting up buy and sell orders on the bazaar for Enchanted Cobweb to do some bazaar flipping, completely legit, just like everyone does. But as we all know, Hypixel Skyblock sometimes decide to not work and bug out. And this time, it bugged out whilst Rice was setting up his bazaar orders, and it pushed 10 millions of his items into his bazaar stash. Not even exaggerating, that's literally how much was in there. Now, if you didn't know what a stash is, it's a very big virtual inventory that every player has, that items automatically go to if you didn't have enough space inside your inventory. To reclaim those items, all you gotta do is run this command, and it will give you back all the items inside your stash. But for RiceBlades, the items inside his stash were in ridiculous quantities, and the bazaar stash so happens to be bugged in a way where you can't claim everything quickly. So Rice had to manually remove each inventory of items he had one by one.
So, by accidentally canceling bazaar orders, I checked and I had 11 million tarantula web in my stash.
And you had to manually do those, right? He calculated how long this would take him, and he found out that he would need somewhere between 50 to 100 hours of clicking in order to just empty his stash because of a bazaar bug.
I did the math, it was something like, it would have taken like close to 100 hours.
He really wasn't very happy about this, and he really didn't want to spend anywhere near 100 hours manually doing all of this. So instead, he decided to set up a macro that automatically does it for him. And as you may know, that didn't turn out very well for him.
So then I made like a macro do it, and then I accidentally sold out the entire market. So
accidentally.
And then the game was kind of confused. So then I got spectated, and that was when I had like 55 skill average and like had a 43.
Jesus Christ, were those legit?
Yeah, those were legit.
Just like the Dio time incident, the macro RiceBlades made messed up and started sending way too many inputs to the server, which then alerted a staff member at Hypixel, who then warped to RiceBlades' account and saw the unnatural movement, and concluded he's doing something fishy. So, he got banned for 30 days, and his entire profile got wiped. Usually players are punished for hacking or macroing because it gives them an unfair advantage over others, but in this case, Rice didn't macro to get an unfair advantage over anyone, but simply because he was unfortunate enough to encounter a really annoying bug. Oh well, he shouldn't have taken the risk of being wiped to empty his stash with a macro anyways. I mean, at least I wouldn't risk it, but would you? Let me know in the comments. Our next story comes from someone called T-Bot. T-Bot is also known for a few other things. One of them is the Technoblade pit relics. T-Bot had 4 of the 7 pit relics in the game, which if you didn't know what those are, pit relics are arguably the rarest thing in Hypixel Skyblock. When the Technoblade Mirror event was running, players could kill pigs around the hub, and they had a 1 in 20 million or something like 0.00005% chance of dropping one. The chances of you dropping a pig relic are literally lower than the chance of winning $100,000 in lottery or more. Of course, T-Bot didn't drop all of them. He dropped none actually. He just simply bought them off of people who did drop them. And he managed to somehow convince 4 of them to sell their valuable relics to him. Him owning so many of them, of course, alerted so much suspicion from other Skyblock players, which alerted admins about it. When the admins were told of it, they decided to investigate his island and see if there's anything out of the usual going on. And well, they did find something out of the usual. Now, you're probably expecting me to tell you that they found massive stashes of billions of illegally duped coins on his island, which he then used to buy out all the relics. But no, what the admins found on his island was this very comedic looking portal. Yeah, and he got banned for it. No, I'm not making this up. He knows he got banned for that portal because once he returned back to the game from his ban, he found that the funny portal was removed. But shortly after his unban, he got wiped and banned for some other reason. I asked him why, and apparently, even he doesn't know why he was wiped and banned. But he's assuming it's because he accidentally bought the auction house of an IRL trader, which flagged his account and just yeeted him, which sadly does happen quite often on Skyblock. Again, there's no concrete evidence here as he stated himself, but either way, it's kinda sad to see that 4 of the 7 pig relics are now gone forever with him being wiped. F. Let's see, what do we have next? Oh boy, this one is pretty funny. Let me tell you about this guy called John Arbuckle. John, for some reason, likes to do really dumb things. The kind of dumb things that get him banned, and the kind of dumb things that are dumb enough to be in this video. His first ever ban was because he built an Among Us on his island with an extra detail that would get me demonetized for mentioning.
So we're making a video on stupid bans, and all 3 of your bans were stupid and funny and silly and goofy.
Oh, fruit, yeah.
Oh, hello. I am very intrigued about the Among Us and the...
that one's not that important. That was only 7 days.
He got a 7 days ban for that. And 1 day after he got unbanned from the Among Us ban, he was so bored and wanted to see if it's possible to b-hop on your Skyblock guests. So he downloaded a random free hack client and b-hopped on someone who visited his island and got a 180 days ban for that. After he was unbanned from the b-hop ban, he decided he wants to stop doing dumb stuff and promised himself to never get banned again. But he failed 3 months later. He was, again, bored one day and decided to code a mod for Skyblock that says your real IP address every time you fail a puzzle in dungeons. Let's say you are just playing Skyblock with your dungeon friends and oops, you failed tic-tac-toe. Your punishment is getting doxed. The mod will fetch your actual IP address and post it in the chat.
Yeah, so I made a mod that sends your own IP address when you fail a dungeon puzzle.
Oh my god. Of course, it only did this to the person using the mod, and he only used it on himself, so his intentions were just simply to be funny and not actually dox or harm anyone. Oh, did anyone actually use it and...
No.
Oh, so it was just you.
It's just a fun project for myself, yeah.
So one day, he was playing dungeons and was using the mod, and when he failed a puzzle, it typed out his real IP address in the chat, which then someone in his party /reported, and he got a 360 days ban for that, because of course, Hypixel can't take any chances and just banned him. John's addiction to doing stupid stuff on Skyblock wasn't satisfied, so he made an alt account to play the game again. But oops, he got banned there as well for ban evading. So, I guess we'll have to wait a year to see what other stupid things John will do to get himself banned. Or maybe he decides to stop getting banned for random things. Who knows? I guess we'll find out next year. Anyways, now for our final story. It's going to be about Zlat. I'll start by telling you 2 things about him. Zlat is someone who hates foraging and finds it really hard to do. But Zlat also really wants foraging XP and is desperate for it. Me giving you these 2 pieces of information, you might think that he maybe macroed or nuked foraging, right? Well, not exactly. So one day, Zlat was in a VC with his 2 friends and they were talking about how annoying foraging is, and his friends decided to do a little bit of trolling and tell him that planting jungle trees on his island and farming them is the best way to get foraging XP. And without putting much thought into it, Zlat went ahead and turned his island into an African rainforest and filled it entirely with jungle trees. I have no idea how his friends were able to gaslight him into filling his entire island with trees, but they did. After seeing that he's getting no foraging XP from this, Zlat realized that he was yet another victim of internet trolling, and he thought he should clean up the mess he's made on his island. Now Zlat is a pretty lazy person, and when he saw that he's going to have to spend hours individually breaking each leaf block, he said screw it, and booted up a neuter and started neuting the leaves. If you don't know what a neuter is, it's basically, I'll just play a clip of a neuter and it will explain itself. Usually when people neut, they do it on things that gets them profit or helps them get an advantage over others. But here, Zlat just did it because he wanted to get rid of things fast. And, oh well, of course the server detected him for it and he got a 180 days ban from Hypixel. The funny part about this is that if he broke the logs of the trees with a tree capitator, the leaves would have just naturally decayed on their own over time. Moral of the story? Don't get trolled. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed these stories of people being banned for silly stuff. If you did, then please like the video, and if you've made it this far, then you might as well subscribe if you haven't already. Also, big thanks to Tenios and RiceBlades11. They helped me get the stories for this video and some other previous ones. Okay, see ya. Have a nice day.